So, when Ken reached out and said, "Hey, there's this book. Do you guys want to talk to the authors?" I'm like, "Well, of course, Bulletproof has to be on the Bulletproof Screenplay podcast." So the book is called Bulletproof: Writing Scripts That Don't Get Shot Down. What was the concept behind the book? Because there's I think a couple of books on screenwriting, not too many, but just a few. So I wanted to know what you wanted to throw. You throw your hat in the ring and what you thought was going to be different about your approach.
So the first thing that's different about our approach is there are, as you say, there are a lot of books on screenwriting out there. There are not a lot of books on screenwriting that are written by people who have made movies produced by movie studios. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, we're part of a smaller group. Mm-hmm. I think we haven't read a ton of these books. From what we've seen, most of them really do have something at least valuable to offer. Mm-hmm. But what we felt we had to offer was our 25 years of experience writing movies for movie studios. Mm-hmm. And the specific approach that we take in the book, in addition to looking at the process from the perspective of developing character and ideas and sort of from the bottom up, is to look at the process simultaneously from the top down, meaning what are managers and agents and actors and directors and studios and financiers and marketing people, what are they looking for from this idea and from this process that you're about to embark on? Because without a partner, you're not selling your movie or getting your movie made. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to happen. So, writers may write in a vacuum, but movies do not get made in a vacuum. So what we were trying to do in this book is, we're trying to answer all the questions we've ever been asked by people who are trying to write movies and write for television, and share our experience, a big piece of which is the realization that when you start working on something, you really have to be able to envision who's going to make this movie, where is this movie going to be released, how is it going to be released, how is it going to be marketed, who's going to be in it. These are all questions that need to be considered throughout the process.
Yeah, and I find that screenwriters don't think about things like that because they're just all about the art or the craft of the story. But they're like they'll spend 6 months on a screenplay, but they have no idea how they're going to sell it. They have no idea what the marketplace is looking for, or if they're looking for something like this, or even if it's an original idea. You can have, look at Family Man. It's a great original concept. I don't think the marketplace was like, we need a Family Man. Like, it wasn't something that they were asking for, but it showed up at the right place at the right time, and you had ideas about how and where it could go. I think a lot of screenwriters don't think that way, and I think this is a great idea for a book, as well as the other stuff that you teach in as far as craft is concerned.
I think that's very true. Screenwriting is different, right? When it's I think the one kind of writing that you do that when you finish, it's really just the beginning of a process. And so you don't really have anything other than a screenplay. And as far as I know, selling a screenplay that hasn't been made into a movie is something that no one has ever done. So, people read screenplays of movies that have been made, but they rarely, outside of the business, read screenplays of movies that haven't been made. And so for us, probably one of the biggest epiphanies we had in our career was the moment that we realized that we aren't going to get anywhere in this business if all we're doing is trying to amuse each other. Because first of all, we are easily amused by each other.
Obviously.
Right? Okay.
Obviously.
Stay in a room together and we try to make each other laugh. We've been doing that since we're literally 14 years old, trying to make each other laugh. And it's one of the most satisfying things we can do. That being said, no one else cares. So when we realized this, it was such an sort of inspired moment for us because it brought everything into perspective about this as a collaborative medium, and that if we were going to do this successfully as professionals, we had to, from the very earliest stages, start thinking about all the stakeholders down the line who we need to get this movie made. And in so doing, I think it helped us in our career, but it's also one of the biggest things that we've tried to give other people who ask us for advice, as people do, and we decided, you know what, let's put it in a book. Let's systematically sort of dissect what we've done and how we do it, and maybe it'll give some insight to people. Maybe it'll be helpful or not, but we think it's been helpful for us, so we hope it'll be helpful for other people too.